Yes, life was delayed, but it never gave the nod. Hello, everybody. Getting here, because we are about to dive in, okay? I am so excited that we're finally filming episode 1 of Never Gave the Nod podcast. I'm so happy. Like, for real. It's been a long time coming, y'all. And I am so happy to be here with you all. And you all come on this journey with me. So let's get started, y'all. My name is Annika Laquette, and I am the host of Never Gave the Nod podcast. And here's a little backstory about me. I'm from Darlington, South Carolina. So all my Darlington people, hey, I don't have any children, but I do have 2 goddaughters and 1 fur son. So yes, I am a fur mom, and I treat him just like he's a kid, right? So you all may have seen him in different videos I post on social media, and that is my boy. He just turned 3. So yeah, that's how we living. And I finally did exactly what I said I was going to do. So I bet you all are saying, what's the name of the podcast? It's Never Gave the Nod. So I got the name Never Gave the Nod from a video about delayed but not denied. And I felt like everything in my life was delayed. And I said, you know what? Even though everything in my life was delayed, it never gave the nod. And I saw that a lot of people were messaging me, giving me calls, texts, and also commenting how they can relate to what I was saying. And I remember one comment on the video, and she said, yes, it gave the lay, but it never gave the nod. So she repeated what I said. And I was like, I like that. But that was way before I thought about doing the podcast, like officially diving in, okay, into my podcast. Now, mind you, I've been wanting to do this podcast for 2 years, right? And I finally did it, right? My mom told me, she said, I'm so sick of you talking about this podcast. Like every conversation that me and her would have, it would literally be me and her talking about good topics, right? And I would be like, that would be good for my podcast. And I would tell my friends, I said, yeah, this will be good for my podcast, right? And I was like, okay, if I keep repeating that I need to do a podcast, that's God's way of telling me that you need to get up and do this podcast like immediately, right? So if God keeps sending you signs, y'all, listen to the signs, because God's telling you like this is your way of doing what you need to do. So that's how I got started doing the podcast. Because let me tell y'all, doing a podcast, it does get stressful, especially when you want to do everything all at once and you're trying to hurry up and do this and you have a deadline and you have this, and that. But you always have to have people in your circle. So I have my best friend Quinn, I have my mom, I have my best friend LaQuanda, my homeboy Jay, like people who are behind me, just give me advice or asking me, do I need anything? That's what I need, right? You always need people that's going to have your back when you're going through something or when you're trying to accomplish something, right? So that's exactly why this podcast exists, is for people to support each other. Let me tell y'all the purpose of the podcast. So have you ever heard that term, this business is so slept on, or this artist is so talented, but they're so slept on? Yeah, I heard that too, because I'm also slept on. A lot of people do not get seen, do not get discovered, do not get published, do not get the recognition because they're so slept on. And there are so many talented people out here, y'all. There's so many good businesses, but they do not have the marketing or they don't have the support. So this is why I do this podcast, to get people's name out there, to get people's businesses out there, and for people to finally get the support that they need, right? So I'm going to be having different people from all walks of life come on this podcast and just talk about their journey. Because guess what? Life was delayed, but it never gave the nod. So they're going to be telling their success stories. They're going to tell how they got started, the no's that they receive, because trust and believe, people don't just start with the yes. Sometimes you have a lot of no's, right? But at the end of the day, you're going to get things done. That's why I want the people who have been slept on to come on this show, speak their truth, and get their vision out to the world. That's how my podcast is going to run. It's going to be different people from all walks of life. Ask Ani episodes where it's just you and me, right? Nobody else. Just you and I, just like how we're doing right now for episode number 1. And I'm going to be giving you all advice. If you all send me an email asking me for some advice, I will give you advice. And I also may have a special guest on the show to help give me advice, right? And we're going to be talking. You all ask me questions in the comment section on my social medias, and I answer your questions, right? Just me and you talking. Because we friends here. We friends, we family over here. And that's exactly why I want to do my Ask Ani episodes. I want you all to send an email to nevergavedeniedpodcast@gmail.com. Ask me anything. Ask me for advice. If you're going through something and you need some advice, I'm here for you. Let me give you all a little hint at what's to come. Mental health, self-care, real estate, being a realtor. I'm telling y'all, it's coming. We're going to be having some good conversations. We're going to be having so many good people coming up on my show. And I'm excited, y'all, to get this thing started and just doing what we're supposed to be doing. I'm not going to hold you all long because this is just an introduction to Never Gave Denied podcast. But if you would like to be a sponsor or just donate to the podcast, make sure that you all email me at nevergavedeniedpodcast@gmail.com and put in the subject bar sponsorship. Or if you're donating, put in the subject line donation. Being a sponsor is when you will be able to sponsor an episode. So for example, I would say this episode is brought to you by Never Gave Denied podcast. When you're sponsoring, I'm going to mention your name multiple times. So I'm going to mention your name at the beginning, the middle, and the end. So the middle part of the episode is going to be your commercial. So that person will be you. I'm so excited to bring you all on this journey with me to do this podcast because it's been a long time coming, right? It's been a long time coming and we're finally here and we're doing this. Make sure that you hit the follow button on Spotify if you're listening there, or if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button and comment down below a topic that you all want me to discuss. And before I start the giveaway, tune in to next week's episode as we explore the importance of mental health with our very special guest, Yvonne Young, owner of Creative Life Journeys. As a reminder, this is what 2 people will win. One of my supporters will win a $100 Visa gift card. The second winner will be a small business, and they will be able to get a free commercial on episode 2 of Never Gave Denied podcast. Let's get into it. Our first winner is J Fargo _ the King. Our business owner winner is Jennifer Jones. Congratulations to the 2 winners, and thank you to everyone who has submitted their entries into the giveaway. I'm so excited to bring you all on this journey with me. Let's get it. Let's go. And I would like to leave you with this. Yes, life was delayed, but it never gave denied. I'm your host, Annika Laquette, and this is the Never Gave Denied podcast. See you next week, same time, same place. Bye.